Welcome back. Sweden, they give us safe cars in the Volvo, amazingly easy to assemble furniture with IKEA, and now man-free music festivals. Yes, it's true. Emma can something Swedish is a comedian from Sweden, and she's organizing a man-free music festival. Why? Well, it is in response to multiple sexual assaults that have taken place at music festivals, and so she's basically saying, that coupled with discrimination against women, she says, in the coming days, I'll bring together a solid group of talented organizers and project leaders to form the festival. Then you'll hear from everyone again when it's time to move forward. Since it seems to be okay to discriminate against women all the time, maybe it's okay to shut out men for 3 days. I would not exactly call it an abuse not to come to the festival. And this has happened before. Glastonbury, they have a man-free stage called the Sisterhood. So what do you think? Thoughts, 5 words or less?
So basically Swedish Lilith Fair.
I would still go.
Go for it, ladies. I think this is a great idea. I'm fine with it.
It's not totally unprecedented. Like I said in my 5 words or less, I know that Lilith Fair men can go, but it's an all-female lineup, and it is predominantly the demographic that attends are women. So this isn't really that groundbreaking, I think. I also don't think it's that controversial because music festivals, concerts, speaking from personal experience, can be pretty predatory places for young girls. I remember
drugs and
well, I remember I would go to concerts a lot when I was in high school and even in middle school because I love live music and I was really into metal and new metal at the time, not to brag.
Monster, Grace is a monster.
And there were a couple shows that I went to where guys would get handsy with girls, and it would sort of with my friends that were there with me. And at first it's like sort of fun because it's a mosh pit and you're like messing around and it's all in good fun. But there are lines that have been crossed, and I think that there's sort of this free for all, because a concert you go to like kick back and be free and relax. I totally get that. I think it's such an important and a sacred place to have this unique community where you all love the music, you know the words, you feel this inherent bond with people you've just met. But there were times where people would take that too far, and it certainly wasn't girls assaulting other girls in my experience, although that could also be something that's taken place, I don't know. So for women to just want to have that sacred space at a concert, that's totally fine, and it's something that's been done before. I don't think this is controversial.
I don't think it's controversial. Men can be fondled and handled at concerts as well too, but I think saying that her rhetoric to me is what's kind of irritating, because she's saying women are discriminated against, women are being assaulted at these events. So men, you guys should all just go away. We don't need you, and not all men want to participate in that. What she should say is, this is an event that we're going to celebrate women. Men are welcome, and let me beef up security. Let me partner with an organization that is against violence or is against assault and things of that nature. Because how are you going to keep men out? How is that? Are you going to have people there that are going to turn away men? Is there going to be security? It could turn very bad very quickly.
So more than 25 music festivals in the UK turned off their websites for a day of part of a zero tolerance campaign against sexual assaults. 2 things that says to me: 1, this is a problem, which is something that intuitively I think. I went to Ultra Festival in Miami and it was just creepy. Like there's a lot of creepy dudes lurking around. And the other thing is, like, there's 25 music festivals in the UK. So music festivals happen all the time. And I am interested in seeing what it would be like to have an all-female music festival. I think this is a very solid, not satirical, but at least like artistic idea. If the idea is like, I mean, I get it. You could say that if it was all men, wouldn't that be terrible? Yes, it is discriminatory inherently, but I think it would be a good point and something to show people, to say like, this is what it would be like with no guys around. This is how we want it to be. So if you see this, guys, treat us how we want to be treated. I think it's an interesting thing and I just want to see it. And I also want to go there because I think most guys at music festivals, I hate to say it, not most guys, but a lot of guys at music festivals are super creepy. I'd want to go there just to have a good time, but not to be like creeping on folks.
Why am I not on board with this, you two? Like, I don't.
Because it's inherently discriminatory. It is an extreme way to go. The counter argument to yours might be like, you're beefing up security, so you're essentially turning it into like militarizing the whole thing. I don't know if that's a really good counter argument, but that would be one. It's like you're kind of turning this into like a prison yard where there's sanctioned festivities.
Well, I think it's just the way she initially says that, you know, men. She's saying that men are the enemy. That's what it sounds like.
I think she's a comedian, so I think she's saying that it's kind of like take this to the most ridiculous, over the top extent for comedic effect, but then let's actually do it because it's. I mean, why not? That's really ballsy.
Yeah.
Even though there will be no balls there by definition.
I think that also it's sort of a reaction to being really frustrated with, you know, we're talking about like when I was in middle school being aware that you need to hold on to your friends at concerts because guys will do weird things to them. And so this is something that women have experienced for a while. Like this is just sort of a reality that we know that when you go to a concert, depending on like, there's some concerts that are like more, you feel more okay than others, but there would be certain concerts or venues or festivals that you would really be like, all right, we cannot lose each other because we know what happened to so-and-so last time. It's a scary thing. So out of frustration, she's like, all right, let's go to the extreme here. Like this isn't being solved. This has been going on for years and for years and for years, and there hasn't been, you know, maybe there is like some beefing up of security or there's more, people feel more comfortable reporting their sexual assault, but no action was being taken. So I'm gonna take action, and I am not gonna mince my words when I do that. I wanna be really clear that we need to rethink how we do music festivals. Here's my proposition to do that, take it or leave it. And at least she's starting the discussion, which I think is really important, and she's taking really extreme action, which is at least some action.
There was one all-female screening of Wonder Woman in Austin, and a bunch of men's rights advocates lost their shit about it. Now, men's rights advocates, by and large, I think they're just trolls trying to mess with folks. But I could see there being pushback if this happened in America. What do you think?
Absolutely, that's, well, I mean, I'm kind of having pushback here and I'm sitting in the seat. Yeah, I mean, absolutely, because you guys both said that she's giving you the most extreme idea for this because she probably, clearly she's fed up with it. And I personally don't think anyone should be assaulted at a concert, be it a woman or a man. And you hear a lot of women in audience. I'm not on the side of I'm not a men's rights advocate at all. I'm not.
Right, yeah, MRA or whatever.
MRA. And I saw a really cool documentary on Netflix about it. It was crazy, but I think that the conversation should be assault. Period. Shouldn't happen on anyone. And that women are not the only victims here.
But they are disproportionately targeted at music festivals.
Okay,
so I get it. So I think that there's of course there are men that are being assaulted as well, but disproportionate to the females who are reporting their sexual assault. And maybe there are men that are not reporting, in which case then there should be an advocacy group for them as well, being like, okay, men are not reporting their sexual assault, but right now there's a group of women who are reporting sexual assaults at music festivals, at concerts, and it's not going like it's not being followed up on, and there isn't really anything that security is doing to beef up security at festivals for women to feel more safe. So I'm not saying that there isn't a problem on the men's side. I'm just saying that right now, this is the focal point for her. This is her issue. And there could absolutely be a group of men that are like, hey, this is something we're dealing with as well. We want to do our own, and that they should absolutely be able to do that. But I don't think that we should stand in the way of her standing up for women and girls who have had to deal with this shit for so long.
And you're right, and they shouldn't either. I think that there's probably a more effective way of going about that than saying no men are allowed.
I get it, and I think at the places like Coachella and the major music festivals, I don't think they can shut men out. They have this thing where it's like, here's a women's only space. I know in the Tokyo subway there's women only cars. Like but there's a bunch of co-ed cars throughout the thing. I don't know. I see this as an interesting thing, and I want to keep following it to see what happens and what it looks like when it actually occurs.